so much for welcoming me to your home. This is such a beautiful, cozy place for us to talk.
Okay, good.
I can't wait to hear a little bit about the magic of the Peace Train movement and how it started right here in this beautiful home. Can you share a little bit about that with our listeners?
Well, it's really almost surreal to think about it, because 3 years ago, my editor called me up. I knew I wanted to write a book that talked about possibility. And she called me up, and she had just interviewed this lady that had these camps with Palestinian and Israeli kids. And when I went to the website and read the comments that the kids made on Facebook, I thought, okay, here's the story. And I didn't even know what that story was. So I sat down, and every day I would write, and I never knew where it was going to go. I really didn't. Different characters showed up, and that it was just surprising to me of how it changed and what happened. And so now that it's a movement, it's like 3 years ago there was no thought of that. And so now it's really exciting, because I feel like these characters can be embraced by a whole bunch of people. And it can bring more love and peace into their life. And that's what's going to change the world.
And I love that the characters are starting at a young age, so you can attract the teenage audience or even younger, especially with a little puppy running through. Everybody's going to fall in love with the puppy. But you span, a decade of time in the book, coming from when they're in the peace camps, which, by the way, when I first read the book, I remember I called you and I asked, is this a true story? Because it felt so true. And now I understand why, because it comes from the true peace camps that do exist, but you're able to capture a little bit of the magic that happened there between the Palestinians and the Israelis. Talk a little bit about how that felt for you, the kind of context in the book and the conflict that was obviously there and then just seemed to dissipate through the Dr. Meg's eyes, in the camp, and how they expected the kids to come in angry like that, and how it completely changed. And of course, when they go home, how they were able to help their own families.
Well, the thing, I had known about the camps. I heard about it 20 years ago, about the camps, and I've always had curiosity about what happened. And it shocked me when I went to the website and I read the Facebook posts from kids whose friends had gone to this camp. It was awful. And I thought, whoa, there is so much anger here. And so that's what initially got my attention. Like, okay, something can shift. And I know how people shift. They can shift very quickly. And the minute the kids in this book start playing dodgeball on the first day, they drop their story and just become kids playing a crazy game. And that is and you mentioned the dog. When they're running after the dog, they drop the story and they start talking to one another. And that is a real human